Family, what's going on? It's John back with another tip for today. And the tip that I want to tell you today is the number one thing that was holding me back in my business. Absolutely number one thing. It's absolutely critical, okay? And the number one thing that I used to do is I used to put so many people on a pedestal because either they had more money than me, they had an awesome career, they was really huge in the community. Something always was something that I used to put a bunch of these people on a pedestal, when I was talking to them. And this used to just crush me, and I wasn't getting anywhere in my business until I crushed this whole mindset change of these people have more money than me, better than me, and blah, blah, blah. And the reason I wanted to do this video today is because I had a lady on my team that I was doing a conference call a little bit ago, and she said this same exact thing. She said, John, listen, there's a lady that I want to talk to. She's absolutely phenomenal, and she started to go into the details with her, or with me, and I was thinking in my head, wow, I had this same exact thing, right? So how did I get over it? This is how I got over it, okay? There was a guy, he was a doctor. I really wanted to show him my business, but I was getting crippled because, he was a doctor. He obviously made more money than me. He was huge in the community. He just, just all around, I just put this guy straight up on a pedestal, okay? And so what I ended up doing is I did it anyway, right? I did it anyway. So I called him on the phone, and I set a coffee time with him the very next day, right? And mind you, I'm not a guy that's like, that gets all dressed up or anything like that. I just give me a white t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and some flip-flops, and I'm good, right? So I was really battling in my head when meeting him. Should I get dressed up? Should I put myself in a tie? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good enough. I love who I am. If this guy don't see it, I don't need this guy on my team either way. Why do I have to impress somebody? Because I'm not in the convincing business. I'll show somebody the deal. They either see the value or they don't, right? So anyway, I end up meeting with this guy, and a little bit about me: I'm bald-headed, I got a bunch of tattoos, and I love loud music, right? Well, so I walk in there with a white t-shirt, flip-flops, and some shorts, so this guy can see all my tattoos and everything else. And man, I was nervous as all get out. Like, my heart was pumping, and my hands are sweating. I put this guy like he was like somebody that I don't even know, like he was some kind of pope or something. Put this guy so much on a pedestal, it was ridiculous. But so anyway, I knew the number one thing that I was good at was my presentation. And the reason I knew I was good at my presentation, because how I got good at my presentation is I recorded myself doing my presentation, and I watched it over and over and over and over, watching me present. And I just critiqued the heck out of my whole presentation. So I knew that I was good at my presentation. And so anyway, we sat down. I ran through the presentation, right? And the guy, right after it was done, he said, John, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah, go ahead, shoot. He said, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I'm like, oh, great. Now I'm thinking in my head, this guy is just straight up going to say no. I said, oh, okay, I won't. Go ahead. He said, John, when I first seen you, the first 30 seconds, he said, this is what he called me. He was thinking in his head that I was some hooligan thug. Hooligan thug. Like, who says hooligan thug, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah? And he said, yeah. And he's like, can I tell you something else? I said, yeah, shoot. He said, that was one of the best presentations I've ever seen. Are you trying to get me into your business right now? I said, well, yeah. He was like, where's the paperwork? Let's rock and roll. And then he said, can you help me? I was floored. I was so nervous to talk to this guy. I put this guy on so big of a pedestal Then after it was done, he asked me if I could help him with his people. Man, if you would imagine, my confidence went through the roof because now it was like, it doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter what other people judge me, because you know what? I know we've all heard, never judge a book by its cover. That's very important, because the cover don't matter. It's the pages in between the front and the back that matter. And a lot of people don't try to figure out what the pages in between the front and the back mean, right? That's the only thing that matters. So what I just want to tell you is, I was there. I was putting people on a pedestal, and I finally cracked it, because I was like, you know what? Who cares? They're going to see the value, or they're not going to see the value. But one thing I will not do is regret not showing this person the deal when he might sign up with somebody else, but I'd rather have him on my team. So I put my whole ego aside and everything else that I thought, showed him, and after he got in and asked me if I could help him. So no more putting people on a pedestal. Everybody loves opportunity. You just got to make sure you go in there and you just kill the presentation. Hope this helps, guys.